Tonle Sap, the Great Lake. Part of the Cambodian floodplain, it's fed seasonally by flooding from the swollen Mekong River. For the people who live on this water, the lake is life. I was traveling to Siem Reap to Battambang, a 3-hour drive by car. But you can also take a boat across Tonle Sap. It's a 9-hour trip, but it's worth it. I arranged a complimentary trip through the tour company Asian Trails, and it's a morning departure, so we headed out early on the half-hour drive through the beginning of a day in the countryside. This rice farmer is laying out his grain to dry in the sun. It was a beautiful day to cross the water.
That's pretty cool.
Asian Trails provided a boat and my driver, Sotir, who made sure I had plenty of water for the trip. Well, this boat to Battambang is going to take about 9 hours. Sometimes it can take as little as 6, but I'm combining it with a tour of the floating villages, so it's going to take a little longer, but totally worth it. So much better than sitting in a minivan for 3 hours with air conditioning. People do opt for the shorter bus ride, but I highly recommend taking the boat at least one way. The up-close look at the Cambodian water culture is an experience that shouldn't be missed. Well, it's a long trip all the way over to Battambang, so I guess we're going to stop for a little pit stop here at a floating market. After 4 hours, I was ready for a cold drink and a bite to eat. There's always a trade-off when considering the impact tourism has on local culture. It brings in dollars that are badly needed, while at the same time threatens the way of life that brought them there in the first place. And it's important to take these opportunities to put money directly into the hands of local businesses. This was a nice chance to support one and spend some time learning about their family. Policeman. Grandmother, grandfather. Wow. A simple game of hide and seek is the kind of experience that makes the world a smaller place. There's always a debate between convenience and experience, and a lot of people shy away from taking the boat down the river, but the people at Asian Trails made it real easy. They combined a half-day tour of the floating villages with a water taxi across the lake. Really, it's the best of both worlds. On a map, Tonle Sap looks huge, and I was surprised that most of the time we were navigating a series of small channels through a flooded forest. There were some pretty tight squeezes, but we got through every time. Wetlands like these that surround Tonle Sap act as a natural filtration system for the ecosystem around here, and you can actually see the water getting clearer down to the roots of these bushes and trees now. The natural filtration is doing its job so well, the system's getting clogged. A massive patch of plastic garbage pushed together by the tidal flows slowed us to a stop. It was distressing to see this impact on a beautiful wetland, and I was concerned about whether we'd make it through this plastic soup. The boat is really struggling to get through this pollution. I can hear it grinding in the motor. We wallowed for a bit while the captain did his best to push us through the mess. Wow, this is terrible. So much litter and pollution out here. I'm a little worried that we might not get through this. This is a lot of garbage. But he was clearly used to this, and at a certain point was forced to clear a net from the boat's propeller. You can only sweep a problem under the rug to a point. This is a peek under the rug, and it isn't pretty. We continued on through the maze of tight twists and turns, stopping every once in a while for the captain to pick up groceries from the local merchants selling from their boats. Saray, akun.
And maybe it was just spending 9 hours on a boat, but seeing this community on the water often took on a dreamlike sensation. Until that scenery began to change. We started to see a few buildings on the shore here and there, and it became clear we were no longer on the lake, but on the Tokay River, entering the ancient city of Battambang. And as we arrived, they rolled out the welcome wagon. There's a huge water festival held in Battambang every year. We got the chance to see a women's longboat team practicing for competition. What a greeting. For this traveler, it was love at first sight.